Hey everyone, this video is going to be a bit different than the other videos on this channel. Today I'm feeling a bit nostalgic. Today marks the day I started a new and exciting chapter in my life. I wanted to do something that took a lot of courage. I didn't want to do what everyone else around me was doing, and I didn't want to do what everyone else around me was telling me that I should do. 4 years ago, I finished my active duty contract with the United States Marine Corps, and I started pursuing my dream of opening up Untamed Strength. More importantly, this is the 4-year birthday of my hair and beard.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
I have not shaved my face, trimmed my beard, or cut my hair in 4 years. This hair and this beard is a celebration of the fact that I can. I've been fired from a job in pursuit of this very beard because I refused to shave my face, simply because I can. I decided to pursue my dream and open up my own gym to see if I can. 4 years ago, I became untamed. About 8 years ago, I was going to community college, sitting in classes that I had no interest in. I was wasting my time and my money on books and courses because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Finish high school, go to college, get a career. After a few years of wasting my time trying not to fall asleep in class, I was becoming very frustrated. I was confused, I was stuck. I couldn't see the next step. Then I received a phone call from my best friend.
Dude, I'm at the Marine Corps recruiting station and I just enlisted. The recruiter said that if you sign up with me, we can do something called a buddy program. We go to boot camp together on the same day and we'll be put in the same platoon. Dude, you gotta enlist with me, man.
My first response was,
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. It's not for me.
the more and more I thought about it, the more it appealed to me. Before I knew it, I realized that this was the best option I could make. I was scared, I was unsure of how difficult it would be. I didn't know where it would take me, but during a time in my life when I couldn't make up my mind about what I wanted to do, I figured the best option would be to put the next 4 years of my life into someone else's hands. I knew I wanted to challenge myself, I wanted to get away from where I was, and I wanted to get really uncomfortable. So, I decided to join my best friend and enlist in the United States Marine Corps.
Aye, sir. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Now, without running, pushing and shoving that recruit to your left and to your right. You gotta get up, stand online, and go to your jet. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. No, right, left, and right. No, right, left, and right. Yo, right, lay-o. Go, right, lay-o. Cover in alignment. Cover in alignment. Aye, sir.
There was only one problem. My best friend wasn't ready to ship out to boot camp because by Marine Corps standards, he was overweight and he couldn't perform the minimum requirement of 3 strict pull-ups. If he wasn't ready to go to boot camp, that means I couldn't go to boot camp. Weeks went by that I tried my best to help him. We would run, do pull-ups, run, do pull-ups, and run some more. My recruiter would call and ask,
I got you a date. Y'all ready to ship out? Best friend, you ready to ship out? No, not yet, man.
a month would go by, more training. My recruiter would call again and ask,
I got you a date. Y'all ready to ship out? Best friend, you ready to ship out? No, not yet, man.
This continued for several months. Best friend started showing up late to our workouts, later and later, and eventually, he was a no-show. Finally, I got the phone call.
Dude, I'm out. I fell in love.
Yes, he was allowed to do this. Apparently, you can drop out anytime before you step onto the yellow footprints. Looks like I was on my own. I enlisted in the Marine Corps under the MOS of 0311 Infantry. While I was in boot camp, I was selected for presidential support duty. Requirements were that you had to have an infantry contract, a first-class PFT score, above a certain ASVAB and GT score, and most importantly, you had to be able to pass a Yankee White security clearance. This listed me as security forces under the secondary MOS 8152. After boot camp and School of Infantry, I went to Virginia for basic security art school and then to Washington, D.C. while waiting for the background check to be approved. Finally, I was sent to Camp David Presidential Retreat as part of Guard Company. After my time at Camp David, I was asked if I wanted to be a part of a small group of Marines called the Marine Corps Body Bearers. We performed funerals and carried caskets of fallen Marines at Arlington National Cemetery. These two duties were the most honorable things I've ever done in my life. I learned a lot about myself, and I wouldn't be where I am today without it. I wanted to share all this with you guys to fill you in on some of my personal history because many of you have supported Untamed Strength since back when I had 50 subscribers, and I really appreciate all the love. I'm making this video because many of you have contacted me and asked about what you should do in preparation for boot camp. I'll do my best to share some advice and my experience to better prepare you for basic training. I'm not one to toot my own horn, but I will say that I did pretty well in boot camp, and I actually ended up graduating as company honorman. This is the top recruit of the entire company of about 360 Marine recruits. I finished the initial strength test 1.5 mile run in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. I tied for first out of all the other recruits with another recruit named Daniel Stokes. I ran the 3 mile run in 18 minutes and 1 second. That damn staff sergeant wouldn't give me 1 second. I could also perform about 30 unbroken pull-ups. Now, how did I do this? Before boot camp, I got really good at running. More specifically, I got good at running really fast. A mistake that a lot of people make when trying to better their 1.5 or 3 mile run times is to run 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, even 6 miles in hopes of making 1.5 and 3 miles feel easier. After all, if you can run 6 miles, 3 miles is a piece of cake, right? Running long distances at a slow pace only makes you good at running long distances at a slow pace. You can run a marathon at a slow pace, but you can't run 1.5 miles at a slow pace. I can't tell you how many Marines I knew who would always say that run wasn't too hard, but I just couldn't kick it up a notch. I couldn't run any faster. It's because they were weak runners. You've got to be a strong runner. You've got to get good at running really fast for an extended period of time. That's where these 3 sprint workouts come in. For these running workouts, you're going to need a high school track to make measuring meters easy. Workout number 1. After warming up, you are going to sprint 400 meters as fast as you can. Walk 400 meters. Sprint 300 meters. Walk 300 meters. Sprint 200 meters. Walk 200 meters. Sprint 100 meters. Then you're going to walk 400 meters as a halfway rest. After your 400 meter walk, you're going to go back up. Sprint 100 meters. Walk 100 meters. Sprint 200 meters. Walk 200 meters. Sprint 300 meters. Walk 300 meters. Sprint 400 meters. Done. Start a timer before your first 400 meter sprint and stop it after your last 400 meter sprint. Try to beat this total time next time you do this workout. Workout number 2. Start out with 1 mile. Sprint 100 meters. Jog 100 meters. Sprint 100 meters. Jog 100 meters. Continue this until you've completed 1 mile. If your time is terrible, do it again next time and try to decrease your time. Eventually, you'll want to bump up to 1.5 miles, 2 miles, 2.5 miles, and finally, 3 miles. Workout number 3. For this final running workout, you'll perform good old 100 meter sprints. Start a timer, sprint 100 meters as fast as you can. Walk back to the start. Sprint 100 meters as fast as you can. Walk back to the start. Continue this for 15 minutes. Try to finish as many 100 meter sprints as you can within the 15 minutes. Getting better at running at a high intensity goes a long way. Running long, slow distances is not the best way to decrease your 1.5 or 3 mile run time. If you can bench press 225 pounds for 1 rep, and you want to bench 225 pounds for 10 reps, it would be wise to increase your maximum strength to 325 pounds because it makes 225 pounds sub-maximal work. Doing 135 pounds for tons of reps because you want to get better at reps is a waste of your time. Low intensity doesn't make you stronger. That pertains to lifting weights as well as running. Now, being able to run is important, but if you can't fight yourself out of a wet paper bag, you're going to have a hard time. You need to be strong too. Continue to squat, deadlift, press, and row. Stick with sets of 5 reps. Try to slowly make progress or even maintain if you're already fairly strong. You don't need to bench press 400 pounds to do well at boot camp. You will be doing a lot of physical activity that requires strength, like ammo can carries and presses, buddy drags, fireman carries, jumping over walls, and climbing rope. Practicing all of this stuff is unnecessary and it's not practical. Increasing your strength using basic barbell movements is the best way to make sub-maximal work even more sub-maximal. If you can squat 315 pounds for 5 reps, you shouldn't have a problem performing anything that requires lower body strength. Again, keep the reps around 5. Don't perform a ton of reps because your running work is going to make up your volume work. Doing a bunch of reps under a barbell and pushing too hard on the track is a great way to show up to boot camp injured. It's better to show up very slightly undertrained and healthy than overtrained and injured. You'll never have time to heal in boot camp. After your squats, deadlifts, and presses, do your pull-ups. Pull-ups are a part of the physical fitness test, and you're going to be spending a lot of time hanging on a bar. There are pull-up bars all over the recruit depot, and you'll have to perform a max rep set nearly every time you pass one. Max pull-ups immediately after you eat, on your way here, on your way there. If you get up to pee at 2 a.m., you're going to have to do a max rep set of pull-ups before you can go. If you can only perform 1 to 5 pull-ups, you need to lose weight if you're overweight and continue getting stronger doing barbell movements, push-ups, lat pull-downs, jumping pull-ups, and negatives. If you can perform 10 or more pull-ups, I'd suggest performing weighted pull-ups. A sample workout will be included at the end of this video. Finish each lifting session with some good old hazing. I mean training. Training. It's not hazing, sir. You are going to do more push-ups, mountain climbers, jumping jacks, and military count pull-ups than you can keep up with. Nobody will ever be able to do enough regardless of how great a shape you're in. You're going to be pushed way past your breaking point no matter who you are.
Fuck with me! Fuck with me! Because I'm gonna get the goddamn training out of your ass!
But the longer you can last, the better. Perform 10 military count burpees, 10 mountain climbers, 10 push-ups, 10 butterfly leg lifts, 10 jumping jacks. Repeat. That's 100 total reps. Oh yeah, and I mean military count reps. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. Here's a sample workout that you can perform in preparation for basic training, regardless of what military branch it is. To recap, you need to focus on getting stronger using basic barbell movements. Don't overdo it. Make sure you're increasing your pull-up strength, and you need to become a fast, strong runner. And practice your body weight complex exercises. Lastly, if you are joining the Marine Corps, know your general orders. Get used to being on your feet all day. Start waking up early and going to bed early. Know your general orders. If you aren't already, start eating 3 meals per day and practice eating really fast. And for the love of Chesty Puller, know your general orders. That's it. Thanks for watching. Good luck to those of you training for boot camp. Always remember, tread on time.
Train on time.